Sophie? It pleases me to see you well. Do excuse me for interrupting, Sophie. My lady, the gentleman from Ashgana Exports, has just left. I understand now why you don't want to receive him. You did well, Tataru. Please inform the guards that we will not be receiving any further guests this morning. Thank you, my lady. Ever since we defeated Gaius Van Belsar and destroyed his ultimate weapon, the eyes of the world have followed our every move, scarce remembering to blink. Where once we worked in secret, with precious few friends and all too many enemies, we are now besieged by benefactors, each one more eager than the last to offer us his complete support. A true embarrassment of riches. Of course, every promise of patronage comes with a price. Some make their intentions known from the start, while others endeavor to engrave us more subtly. Dress it how they will, the message is ever the same. We shall help you, but only if you help us. The gentleman Tataru spoke of was more brazen than most. In exchange for certain supplies, he would have us resolve a business dispute. Naturally, I refused him, as I have every other merchant of his ilk. Alas, the syndicate's overtures are not so easily rejected. When we formed the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, it was with the goal of serving Eorzea, not the interest of individual Eorzeans. Our neutrality is fundamental to our cause. In my heart, I know this to be true, and yet, if accepting these offers of patronage could empower us to do greater good, might they not warrant greater consideration? Our Baldasian colleagues have been generous beyond measure, but we cannot expect them to... Oh, forgive me. I did not mean to burden you. Yet, my urge to share this dilemma may not be wholly misguided. Might I impose upon you to consult the others? They are like to have their own opinions on this matter. Alright, here's the others. Let's see what they have to say. Recall you our meeting with the Admiral shortly after the Luminzans sent word of the summoning of Titan? Then mayhap you also recall my words to our host. I said unto Merylweb that her people had broken their treaty with the kobolds, and that the beastmen had justly responded, that we had been called to intervene in a conflict which she herself had invited. I spoke, in short, the truth. And wherefore did I speak it? Because, owing no allegiance to Limsa, I felt no compulsion to allow the Luminzans to distort the facts to fit a narrative which justified their actions and absolved them of guilt. Upon this subject, Minfilia can expect a similar reply. Our many dalliances with the city-states have already weakened our claim to neutrality, but the path she contemplates would see us relinquish it entirely. Well said in a very verbose manner. Fortune begets power, and power fortune. That we, and especially you, have power is beyond doubt. The question is what to do with it. You may be interested to know that there is a growing belief amongst the refugees that Alamigo could be liberated, if only the Scions would commit their strength to the cause. Yet theirs is but one of many causes. We stand at a crossroads, Sophie. Each path is paved with good intentions, but where they lead is far from clear. I've been receiving a lot of gifts lately, but Palpalimo keeps making me send them back. It wouldn't be so bad, but some of them are really nice. I mean, very nearly abandon your principles nice, you know? Thanks, Ida. None can deny that we would benefit from more support, but if it comes at the cost of our principles. Neutrality was ever a delicate matter. I've lost count of the times I've had to explain to people that our allegiances need not necessarily lie in the same place as our headquarters. Mind you, if we are to sell our services for Gil, we might as well declare our fealty to Ul'dah now and have done with it. I'm quite sure Ida would enjoy the bribes. Yes, I gathered that from Ida already. 'Tis the lot of the powerful to attract the covetous as well as the needy. Thus doth prudence dictate that those with power proffer aid with one hand, whilst the other resteth ever on their hilt. Alas, we have not the luxury of time to decipher our petitioners' machinations. Nay, not while the beast tribes do labor unseen, defiant in defeat, to raise up their fallen primals once more. Doubt not that they shall return, stronger and bolder both, nor that we shall be the ones to meet them. This sacred charge shall ever be ours. 'Tis but a pity we are so few and our fortunes so finite. What's Alpino got to say? This situation is not wholly unexpected. I too have given much thought to our organization's future, though it would seem I have reached a different conclusion. Mayhaps it's time I made my feelings known to the antecedent. Come along, Sophie. Alpino, Sophie, is Autumnus? You desired counsel, and so you shall have it. Minfilia, the scions of the Seventh Dawn must leave Ul'dah. We must do what? So long as we remain within Ul'dah territory, we will never be free to act with impunity. Moving our headquarters to Vesper Bay only delayed the inevitable. We have demonstrated our capabilities, and the Syndicate has taken note. They will not suffer our organization to remain independent now. We are far too dangerous for that. Surely you realize they are the reason Vesper Bay still lacks an Aetheryte. They know full well how beneficial one would be to our cause, which is why it and other favors will be denied us unless we cooperate. If Ul'dah is no longer suitable, where would you have us go? Experience has taught us that the appearance of neutrality is as important as the reality. Accordingly, we must keep each of the great nations at arm's length and plant our banner in a place where all agree to be beyond their borders. Mor Dhona. Revenant's Toll, to be precise. It lies within neutral territory and offers all the essential facilities we require. By way of an additional benefit, it is also frequented by a veritable legion of adventurers who may serve to supplement our ranks. Back in the day, it really was too. Like, everybody was out there. I am, of course, conscious of the fact that we have developed a certain bond with Ul'dah and her people over the years. But I truly believe this to be the best course of action. As you yourself observed, we have invaluable ties to the local community, forged through years of concerted effort. Ul'dah is our home. Alphino. To cast aside everything we have built and start anew in that desolate wasteland would be beyond reckless. I want to point out that they call it a desolate wasteland in this because at the time it was the old model that I talked about in the previous episode, where there were no like buildings and stone housings and that big castle thing and all that stuff. Like, none of that existed yet. It was basically just a bunch of shacks and gardens and stuff. The decision is yours to make, antecedent. I ask only that you recall the shared purpose which first moved us to found the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, and which moved you to found the Path of the 12 ere that. We aspire to an ideal, you and I, just as my grandfather did. That makes us more than mere comrades in arms. We are as much your family as That will be all, Alphino. I'm sure you have some familial affairs of your own to attend to. Your concern is most generous, but no. I have left them in the hands of men better suited to the task than I. I could not very well allow my personal affairs to come before the needs of the Order, after all. He's so snarky. I say he's snarky because, well, you'll find out here in a second. But, yeah, he's so snarky. Leave Ul'dah, has it truly come to this? Oh, Sophie, pray, attend to Alphino. He is engaged in some business or other that requires your assistance. Pray, be on your way, Alphino waits upon you, and I have much to think about. Oh, and tell him he shall have my answer in due time. Confound it, she knows what must be done, and still she hesitates. All because of those fanciful rumors. I should explain. Minfilia's mother, well, adoptive mother, was among the great many who perished during the calamity. Flamin was her name, though you may know her better as the songstress of Ul'dah. She was a performer of singular talent and much beloved by the people of Eorzea. Not to mention a certain Charlian minstrel. Man, I can't talk. As you may imagine, the news of her passing was greeted with shock and disbelief by her adoring followers, many of whom refused to acknowledge what had happened. That her body was never found only served to encourage the speculation. Minfilia, too, struggled at first to accept the truth, but Flamin's absence stretched from months into years. She saw that there could be no other explanation. Until recently, at any rate. For whatever reason, rumors have once again begun to circulate that Flamin is alive and well. One of our informants, Father Iliad, has sent word that a woman matching the songstress description has been seen of late at the seaside resort of Costa del Sol. If we could succeed in tracking her down, I have no doubt that any worries that now plague Minfilia's heart might be assuaged. I mean to set forth for Lenosha at once. Let us reconvene there and inquire with Master Gegaruju as to the veracity of these rumors. And so that is why I said he was snarky, because he was basically saying, like, I'm letting other people deal with my family problems and focusing on my work, which is what you should be doing instead of worrying about your mom who could have be alive after years of being she's dead. Like, kind of heartless, but like then again, we've talked about this before. Like, Alphino is not meant to be liked. Like, I do not believe in my heart of hearts that they intended Alphino to be a likable character during a Realm Reborn. They intentionally wrote him to be a bit of a prick, for lack of a better way of phrasing it. So you are not actually supposed to think he's a good, well, he's a good person. You're not supposed to find him endearing, is a good way of putting it. He is supposed to rub you the wrong way, and he does a very, very good job of it at times. Hi, Weiskit. Bye, Weiskit. Still kind of a jerk thing you did when you made me run around and buy wine and cheese and stuff for you. You kind of suck. Oh, sweet siren of the sands, my Mikote muse, why have you forsaken me? Titan's Bane. I mean, Sophie, what brings you to my humble resort? Flamin? You mean to tell me the goddess made flesh who dwelt among us until so very recently was the songstress of Ul'dah? Egads, woman. If I had known that, I would have chained her to my bedpost and never let her leave. Whoa! Whoa! I don't think that's something you're supposed to admit out loud in front of people. Oh, for shame. To think that she now piles her trade for the riffraff of the West, or wherever she said she was going. It's a tragedy, I say, a tragedy. West, is it? Thank you, Master Gegaruju. Your information will serve us well. That said, there are any number of places she could be. I shall begin my search by the docks and see if any witnesses might have some knowledge to spare. I would be most appreciative if you could travel on to Wineport and do the same. Look, Gegaruju, I'm not gonna call you out on it because, you know, I get it, but think about what you're saying in front of people. That's all I'm saying. Just think about it. We don't want you getting called up on the FBI and stuff, or whatever yours version is. Okay, pretend like I'm talking to this guy because I clicked on his thing and I had my mic muted. So, I'm just gonna read it real quick. Well, if it isn't Sophie, this... Here, I'm clicking on this guy right here. The wine... consortium, or whatever. Well, if it isn't Sophie, the savior of Wineport, to what do we owe the pleasure? Ah, yes, we did receive a customer matching that description. She was a delight to behold, to give the woman her due, but her perfume was so ghastly, I had no choice but to eject her from the premises. Interfering with tastings, you understand. If she is your quarry, why not consult your blind associate? His olfactory perception is without peer. Given that I could smell the woman from a mile away, I dare say he could smell her from 10. Okay, so now we go talk to the other wine guy over here. I see you've had many grand adventures since we last spoke, Sophie. You must share them with me sometime. The girl from a little while ago? One does not forget a perfume like that, so robust and intoxicating, yet simultaneously familiar, reminiscent of a bloom native to these parts, in fact. I said as much when we spoke. She complimented my powers of observation, and asked me where she might find some of the flowers. So I told her to follow the road south into Raincatcher Gully, and then head east after crossing the second bridge. The flowers which grow in the shade of the cliff have the strongest scent, you see. If you make haste, you may yet find her there. Whoa! Whoa! You don't just sneak up on a woman like that. That is just really creepy. I mean, you were just like literally out of no place right on my butt. That is just really, really pervy. I am in your debt, stranger. I did not realize my activities had aroused the Gabus and ire until it was too late. Their oils can be used to make a perfume, you see, and Flamin, I don't... Who are you? Whom do you serve? It appears you've already found our woman. Consider me impressed, my friend. The songstress of Ul'dah, I presume? Minfilia, or should I say Asilia, is looking for you. Asilia? You are the very picture of health, my lady, yet the world thinks you dead. I can only conclude that this was by design. The question is, why? Not everyone who endeavors to find me does so with the best intentions, child. You will be pleased to know that I fully intend to reveal myself to Minfilia when the time is right. Oh, well, that does please me, more than you know. But tell me, sojourns in the forest of Lenosha aside, when exactly will the time be right? When I deem it so. Do you imagine I traveled all this way on a whim? As I was telling your associate prior to your intrusion, I came here to harvest these flowers for use in a perfume. Does that satisfy your curiosity, or would you interrogate me further? My apologies for the interruption. Anyway, now that we all have that which we came for, might we continue this conversation in a safer locale? Wineport, say? Mama Flamin, put you in your place, dude. This is not at all how I envisioned it. I can scarce begin to imagine what emotions will go through Minfilia's heart when she reunites with her mother after all these years. You say my daughter awaits us in Vesper Bay, yes? I have kept her waiting long enough. Let us be off to the next ferry. I can finish fashioning the perfume along the way. Understood. Come with me. It would be my pleasure to escort you to the Waking Sands. Wow, they just teleported me there and everything. That's pretty fancy. I will point out that this is one of the first quests where they took a lot, and I mean a lot of stuff out, because unless they changed the order, you used to have to go get stuff for her perfume, and you used to have to like then help her make like a bracelet or a necklace or something, because she wanted both. So you had to like you had to like do fetch quests for both parts of it, and before she would come to Vesper Bay. So they cut this one down a lot, thankfully. Antecedent, you have a guest. Lamin? Acilia. I haven't seen her like this in years, Soapy. I never truly believed it when they told me you were dead, but what kept you away so long? The Imperials came for me, as I always knew they would, and so I resolved to stay as far away from you as I could, lest their pursuit of me endanger you and our cause. I could think of no better way to grant you the freedom to continue our work. And continue it you did, achieving things I would not have imagined possible. I followed your every success and celebrated in secret. I'm so proud of you, Acilia. I learned from the best. I have a gift for you. Celestia perfume, you remembered. How could I ever forget? You wore it all the time. If ever I lost sight of you, I could find you again just by following my nose. Just like Toucan Sam and his Fruit Loops. I did not think it was made anymore. You must have gone to so much trouble. It was no trouble to me, my darling. I fear I cannot say the same for Sophie, however. I could not have made it without her. Yeah, see, this is because I went and did fetch a bunch of ingredients for her. but I don't do that anymore, so it's kind of silly. Thank you, Soapy. Thank you both. There's something else. This is the cat's eye I found. All those years you kept it? Yeah, see, this is the thing you repair for her too, the bracelet or whatever. My father was a member of the Alamegan resistance. When I was yet a child, he brought me here to Ul'dah. The accident which claimed his life happened shortly after our arrival. It was Lamin who took care of me then. She raised me as her own, taught me everything I needed to know to survive. I am no stranger to the facts of your history, yet I fear I have failed to grasp the implications. It is clear that there is much I do not know, about you and your mother both. One of her first lessons to me concerning mining, and I was a very dedicated student. This cat's eye was the first stone I unearthed. It wasn't much, of course, but I was exceedingly proud to have found it nonetheless. So I gave it to Lamin as a gift. She said it was beautiful, but there I am at a loss. Why are you returning this to me? Is something amiss? No, Asilia, nothing is amiss. Quite the opposite. I need you to realize how far you've come, and how much further you must still go. You and your allies have accomplished more than I could ever hope for. You have succeeded where I failed, and made me so proud that words fail me. But even as I marvel at the woman you've become, and at all the many things you've done, I cannot help but think of that which you have yet to do, and of what it may entail. Cilia, daughter, you cannot stay here anymore. You and the Scions must leave Ul'dah. Lamin? You built it once, Cecilia. You can build it again. And this time, we'll do it together. Truly? Alphino, the time has come for the Scions to leave Vesper Bay. Mommy said so. We shall establish a new headquarters in Revenant's Toll as you proposed. With the perfume as my guide, I swear to the 12, I shall never go hungry again. Wait, I'm mixing up a movie or something. Much work lies ahead of us. Inform our fellow Scions and send word to the students of Baldazian. Preparations begin at once.
I'm sorry that I told you I've been you, I broke you, and I'm trying to fix this, but